Welcome, race fans, here to this beautiful Thursday night in Daytona Beach, Florida. We are bringing you live coverage from the Daytona International Speedway, and we are only moments away from setting the starting grid for the 61st running of the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. 48 drivers are entered, but only 40 will make the biggest race of the year, and at this point in Speed Weeks, only 2 spots remain for Sunday's grid. Each of those two spots will be determined in each duel races tonight. It is the Gander RV Duels from Daytona. I'm Eric Burton in the broadcast booth. Happy to have you along with us here as we get set for the first of 2 races tonight. Duel race number 1, which will set the inside row for the Daytona 500. Duel race number 2, which will be taking place a little bit later tonight, that will set the outside row for Sunday's race. The 2014 Series champion Kevin Harvick scored his first career pole in the Daytona 500 last Sunday during 500 pole qualifying, and he hopes to continue his momentum and take home the checker flag here in duel race number 1. 7-time Series champion Jimmy Johnson will roll off second on the grid. A lot of different storylines are entering this race that we want to talk about before we get to the opening ceremonies. For the first time ever in the NASCAR mock season, points are on the line. Here in each duel race tonight, the top 10 finishers from duel race number 1 and duel race number 2 will receive bonus points towards the regular season championship. Winner of each duel race will get 10 points. Second place will get 9 points. Third place will get 8 points, and so on, with 10th place getting 1 point. Going to be interesting to see, will that make these guys ultra aggressive and make bold moves to win this race? Well, we're about to find out. But obviously, when we think of the duels from Daytona, we think about the go-homers, or in this case, the open teams. Now, 8 drivers remain without a spot in Sunday's 500. 2 drivers locked themselves a spot on pole day in qualifying. Jamie McMurray and AJ Allmendinger both has qualified for the show via their qualifying speed. Now it's up to the remaining 8 drivers to fight it out for the last 2 spots. We have 4 open teams in Duel 1 and Duel number 2. But let's take a look at the drivers who have to race their way into the show here in Duel number 1. You have the number 77, J.J. Yaley, driving for the new B.J. McLeod Motorsports team, looking to make his 7th appearance in the Daytona 500. Spencer Boyd, looking to make his 500 debut, but he's also looking to make his Cup Series debut in the number 66 for MBM Motorsports. Brendan Gaughan has qualified for the Daytona 500 the last 2 years, but this year he is not locked in. He has to race his way in, driving the 62 for Beard Motorsports. And the 2012 Monster Energy Rookie of the Year, Stephen Light, looking to make his first 500 appearance driving the 97 for Obeka Racing. It is a 24-lap race around this 1.5-mile track, and it's time to take it down for opening ceremonies.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for all your blessings. You said in all things give thanks. Drivers, start your engines!
All right, the engines are fired, and we are set to go here in Daytona. Gander RV Duel number 1 about to get underway before Kevin Harvick on the pole. Let's take a look at your starting grid for duel race number 1. Is Kevin Harvick on the pole, and the 48, Jimmy Johnson, the 7-time Series champion, rolling off on the outside of row number 1. Row 2 has a couple of Fords with Ryan Newman in the Oscar Mayer Ford Mustang, and Brad Keselowski still looking for his first duel win in Daytona. A couple of Chevrolets make up row number 3 with Austin Dillon, the Clash pole winner from 1 week ago, and Alex Bowman, the 500 pole center from 1 year ago. Chase Elliott, a 2-time 500 pole winner, will start 7th in this race, alongside the highest Toyota on the grid, Kyle Busch. Corey LaJoie has a nice starting spot in duel race number 1. He'll start 9th in the 32, alongside Ryan Preece, the highest rookie on the grid. As you look at the rest of your starting grid, It is a 24-lap race, like we said, but I'm interested to see how these drivers race tonight. There's a lot of stuff on the line. You have points. You have drivers trying to race their way in. Drivers trying to win this race. Also, have to think about these drivers, these teams have spent over a year preparing on these cars for this race only. It is the primary car. It is the best car. How are they going to treat their car here in an exhibition race? Kevin Harvick and Jimmy Johnson, the front row, they were first and third on pole day, so they'll lead the field down to green here, and Gander RB duel number 1. And we are underway from Daytona. Harvick brings us down to green. Nice early jump by the 4 of Kevin Harvick. Has already cleared the outside line. Now the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. There's the 6 of Ryan Newman. Another 4 driver looking to get on the bumper of the 4 Harvick. But here comes Newman, though, to the inside of the 48 for second place. As Austin Dillon behind the number 6. And there's Chase Elliott in the 9. The 18 stuck in the middle. That's Kyle Busch. And trapped on the far outside line, that is Alex Bowman. And the 88 with no help up there. And as they come off turn number 4 to complete lap number 1, it is the 4 of Kevin Harvick taking the lead away on lap number 1 with Ryan Newman in second. Then you have Austin Dillon now in third place. Chase Elliott in fourth. The inside line looking a little bit racy here early on and doing race number 1. We saw in the ARCA race and the Clash that the outside line seemed to be the way to go. A lot of drivers were able to get up there and make a lot of time, make a lot of momentum. But see, a lot of these guys are hanging down on that bottom of the track. It is the shorter way around. And it's Kevin Harvick and Ryan Newman leading the first couple of laps. There's Austin Dillon, Chase Elliott, and Jimmy Johnson, your top 5 at the line, with Brad Keselowski now in 6. A little bit deeper in the field, you have there's the 36 of Matt Tibb looking to make his first ever Cup Series start. And he is locked in the show, so he will do that. There's the 35 of Joey Gase, another rookie out of Go Fast Racing. Ryan Truex locked into the 500. And there's the 40 of Jamie McMurray, his final start in the Cup Series coming at the Daytona 500 as we're 3 wide for second place. Ryan Newman up top with no help. And Chase Elliott will take second away from Austin Dillon. Some of these Chevrolets trying to break up the Ford party at the front of the field. You see Newman dropping back. You have Keselowski now making a run at the 3 of Austin Dillon. And this race really is looking like an inside line as Dillon tries to shut the door in the 48, and here comes a 9 for the lead goes Chase Elliott, and Keselowski going to make a 3 wide for the lead. And Harvick has no help, and to the lead goes probably the 2 of Keselowski because he has more help coming. Brad Keselowski has been so close to winning the Daytona 500, but here comes the 9 of Chase Elliott at the line. Elliott will lead that lap. A nice run off turn 4 by the 9 of Chase Elliott. He took the lead right at the stripe, but they're still side by side for the lead. We are already 5 laps in. We have yet to see a caution. These guys kind of racing a little bit safe, a little bit cautious. These guys know that there's still over 20-some laps to go in this race. And Keselowski try to block the 48's run. 48 was able to stick his nose in there, and he has help from the 18 of Kyle Busch. Keselowski gets a nice run off turn number 4. And that's the second time today we've seen the outside line not really strong, but they get a nice run off the turn number 4, able to keep that lead. And we just saw it there with the 2 of Keselowski blocking the 48 of Johnson off turn 4. Check back here with the 4 drivers looking to race their way in. They are 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Right now, the highest is the 62 of Brendan Gaughan. So at this point in this race, Brendan Gaughan would be in the 500. But there's Spencer Boyd, J.J. Yaley. On the outside, they got the draft out the guys on the outside lane, and Boyd looking to drop by the 62 of Brendan Gaughan. And he does. Nice pass by Spencer Boyd, looking to try to take advantage of each line, get the draft, and we just saw that with Spencer Boyd. Now Brendan Gaughan and J.J. Yaley going to try to work together to get back up to the 66. And behind them is Stephen Light, the 97, having a little bit of trouble staying with the lead draft, as it is still Brad Keselowski up front with Chase Elliott and now Clint Boyer looking to make some noise in that 14 car. Couple of new players up here. You have Clint Boyer. You have the 20 of Eric Jones. You have Paul Menard not far back here in that 21 car. Wood Brothers Racing. Menard, as I say, that makes it 3 wide on Austin Dillon. So Menard now goes to the inside of Dillon. Here comes that 42 of Kyle Larson. Qualified all the way back in 39th place on pole day for Kyle Larson. Looking to work his way back up to the front for the 500. Brad Keselowski leads. Chase Elliott, Clint Boyer, Jimmy Johnson, and now Eric Jones, your top 5. Spencer Boyd still in the transfer spot as we are about a quarter of the way into duel number 1. Now the 20 of Jones makes him into the inside of the 48. He should have a good chance at completing the passes. Here comes his JGR teammate Kyle Busch, but Johnson shuts the door in the 18. I think Kyle may have had to get out the gas just a little bit, which hurt his run. And here comes the Fords trying to take advantage of it with Paul Menard and Kevin Harvick. All up front, 3 wide for second place again. Eric Jones on the inside, Clint Boyer in the middle, and there's Chase Elliott up top of the 9 car. And Jimmy Johnson in that 48. Alley Financial Chevrolet coming on board as the primary sponsor for all 36 races here in 2019. Lowe's left the team after 19 years? 18 years? Keselowski leads, but now he has a challenge from the 14 of Clint Boyer. And look at the help the 2 car has. None. And Boyer will go to the lead here on lap number 10 of this race. He'll have help from the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. As there'll be 14 laps to go, it is still Spencer Boyd ahead of Brendan Gaughan for the last transfer spots. There's the 00 Timmy Hill. He is locked into the show. J.J. Yaley, 77, 23rd place, trying to hang on as the 97 of Stephen Light looking for some help. Looks like he will need a yellow as he has lost the job. He's right now 6 seconds behind leader Clint Boyer. He might not be a leader for long as they're ganging that 3 wide. There's Eric Jones down to the inside of the 48 for second place. This will be Jones' 3rd Daytona 500 start. Second, driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. Paul Menard. Oh, you saw Menard try to come down in front of the 4 Harvick, but Harvick was there. Menard had to take a very, very aggressive turn right to keep from getting taken out by the 4 Harvick as we're 3 wide yet again as Kyle Larson stuck in the middle in that 42 car. Austin Dillon and Ryan Newman. Joey Gase, Corey LaJoie, a couple of teammates from Go Fast Racing. There's McMurray in the 40 for Spire Motorsports, but has a little bit of help from Chip Ganassi Racing. And for the lead goes to 48 Jimmy Johnson. He will take the lead away from Clint Boyer as we are now halfway through Gander RB duel number 1. So Johnson takes the lead away. It has been clean and green. It's been a very calm race up to this point, but what we've seen in recent years is if one race is calm, cool, collected, next race is wild, obnoxious, and aggressive. So we're going to have to keep that in mind as we get set for Duel Race number 2 and how aggressive they will be. Remember, points are on the line. And the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, after going winless last year, and the struggles we've seen out of Hendrick Motorsports and this 48 team, they're going to need as much points as they can get here in this dual race. And they got Kevin Harvick, who's made the Final Four for the last 5 years. On the outside of the 20 of Eric Jones, who's Elliott and Boyer side by side for 4th place, and Keselowski now working his way up inside the top 5, or just outside the top 5, I should say. You have Matt Tift, Ryan Preece in the 47 for JTG Doherty Racing. We're not talking about Cole Custer yet today. Custer in the 51. Ryan Truex got with his racing running full-time this year after getting a charter from Furniture Road Racing. And look at this. Brendan Gaughan has drove by the 66 of Spencer Boyd. So now it's Brendan Gaughan in the transfer spot to qualify for the race's way into the Daytona 500. So it's Gaughan, Boyd, Yaley, and Light. And we have 10 laps to go. The 48 of Johnson continuing to lead the outside lane. And as I say that, here comes Harvick with a nice momentum off turn 2, but Elliott will make it 3 wide. Elliott's Johnson's teammate, so it's not completely a surprise to see the 9 car not go with the 4 and stick with the 48. We saw Johnson drift high off turn number 4. It helped Harvick get enough draft where it may propel the 4 to be able to clear the 9. But I don't know. Here comes Harvick's teammate Clint Boyer. Harvick does drop down, and better yet, he'll have his Stewart-Haas teammate Clint Boyer right behind him in that 14 car. And we're not seeing a manufacturer dominate this race. We're seeing a lot of different manufacturers running up front. You have the Chevrolets of Johnson and Elliott, the Fords of Harvick and Keselowski. We've seen Toyotas of Eric Jones up front. We've seen Kyle Busch up right there in the top 5. So there's really no manufacturer dominating this race right now as Kevin Harvick looks for the lead in the 4 car. But I believe the 48 may be able to shut the door entering turn number 1, and he does. Blocks the inside line of Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott. As things are kind of calm right now, we want to take a look at the upcoming schedule for the NASCAR Speed Weeks from Daytona. Following tonight's races of the dual events, tomorrow it will be all NASCAR Gander Outdoor Truck Series, as we'll have qualifying and the first race of the 2019 Truck Series season. That is tomorrow here on March of 531. And then on Saturday, we'll have coverage of the NASCAR Xfinity Series. We'll have qualifying for that early in the morning, follow up with the Xfinity race later on Saturday afternoon. And then Sunday, it will be the Daytona 500. The biggest race of the year. You will win the 61st running of the Great American Race. We'll find out on Sunday afternoon as Harvick and Elliott will make it 3 wide for the lead. We've seen this so much today. Either it's for the lead or for second place. We've seen drivers look like they're going to be making a move, making it a battle for the lead, and here comes a guy in 3rd place, gets a huge run, and they'll make it 3 wide as Harvick holds off Chase Elliott. He will go to the lead. 6 laps to go. Harvick, Elliott, Boyer, Johnson, and now Kyle Larson getting closer and closer to the front in that 42 car. Wait, look at the train on the outside. Larson doesn't have a lot of help, and here comes that 48 of Johnson. Nice push from the 2 of Keselowski. Nice draft. Able to keep him alongside the 42 as there's 3 wide back here. That's Kyle Busch in the 18. He's been really unable to get to the front in that 18 car. He's kind of been mired back here outside the top 5, top 10. Been kind of stuck on the outside for a good portion of the race. And notice outside, it's had some moments where it showed some success, but really it's been all about that inside lane and hugging that double yellow line. But what we see like right there, Harvick, not on the double yellow line down the backstretch. He's right up against the outside wall and not hugging that yellow line like we would normally expect out of a poor Kevin Harvick or a 14 of Clint Bowyer. And Elliott got shuffled now on the outside by Bowyer in the 14, and look at the cars coming to get around that 9 of Elliott, but now he has help from the 42 of Kyle Larson. 4 laps to go here in duel number 1. Stephen Light, unless we get a caution, it does not appear he will make his first 500 appearance this weekend. And Spencer Boyd is now starting to lose the draft as well, and that's 66. Boyd and Yaley having trouble keeping up with the 35 with Joey Gase. And Brendan Gaughan, for the last 2 years, has qualified for the 500 with Beard Motorsports, but this year had a kind of a mechanical failure in qualifying, qualified 47th for this race, and he actually started last, 24th place here in Duel Race number 1, and he has worked his way up methodically up here, just outside the top 15. He just saw him go past the 36 of Matt Tifft. So it'll be a big party if Brendan Gaughan can hang on and race his way into the 500. But here comes the 48. Jimmy Johnson the inside for second place. We'll be coming to 2 to go this time by. It's Kevin Harvick and Jimmy Johnson at the front of the field. And Bowyer got a nice run off turn 4, and he will tuck in behind the 48. So it's a Ford, Chevrolet, Ford and Chevrolet inside the top 5, and here comes Bowyer back to the inside for second. If there's one guy Kevin Harvick wants in his rearview mirror, it is that 14 of Clint Bowyer. That's his only teammate in this race. Their other teammates, Daniel Suarez and Eric Almirola, they'll be in dual race number 2. So it's Harvick, and now here comes Bowyer to the inside. So I don't know if Harvick really wants Bowyer in the rearview mirror. Here comes the 14 taking the run for the lead. Can he clear him off turn number 4? Harvick now fighting back on the outside. Here comes the 4. It'll be a drag race to the line. The white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Kevin Harvick, a nice run on the outside. Can he clear his teammate entering turn 1? He does. Kevin Harvick back to the lead in the 4 car. Yeah, the 2 Hendrick Chevrolets up top with Johnson and Elliott. But can Bowyer get a push from the 48? It's all going to come right here from the 48 car. Can he get the 14 to push? Or can he get some from the 2 of Keselowski here off turn number 4? He qualified on pole for the Daytona 500. He's led the most laps tonight. And that will be the 4 of Kevin Harvick, who will come down to the line and he will win duel number 1 from Daytona. Kevin Harvick wins Gander RB duel number 1, and he will keep his Daytona 500 pole starting spot for Sunday's race as Clint Bowyer comes home second, and he will start 3rd in the 500. That is Bowyer's best starting spot in the Great American Race. He'll start 3rd. Brad Keselowski 5th, Jimmy Johnson 7th, and Chase Elliott in 9th place for the 500. As drivers will now come down pit road and go through tech inspection. Let's take a look at your race results here from this race. And Kevin Harvick, your winner. Clint Bowyer 2nd. We've only went through the top 5, but you have Eric Jones coming home in 6th place. Kyle Busch 7th. The other 20 car battling for the lead or battling for 2nd place. We never really saw the 18 car or any other Toyota kind of challenged for the lead. But, yeah, Paul Menard in 8th place. Tyler Larson and Jamie McMurray coming home in 10th in the 40 car. So Jamie McMurray will start 19th in his final race on Sunday. Austin Dillon and Alex Bowman running out the top 12. They only see that much speed out of those AAA, so they'll have a couple of days to try to work on their cars and get more prepared for Sunday's race within the next couple of days. The Ryan Newman 13th. Cole Custer will be making his first 500 start. He'll be 14th. Corey LaJoie, Ryan Preece. And they're in 18th place, Brendan Gaughan. Brendan Gaughan does race his way into the Daytona 500 for the third race or the third year in a row. That means J.J. Yaley, Spencer Boyd, and Stephen Light have officially missed the Daytona 500 here in 2019. So it is a tough break for those 3 drivers, but we still have 4 more looking to race their way into the show in Duel Race number 2. That is coming up next year on March of 531. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on this channel of watching Army Duel number 1. Kevin Harvick, your winner here. He'll start on the pole for the Daytona 500 on Sunday. Now he'll be getting set for Gander RV Duel Race number 2, and that's coming up here in just a couple of moments.